Welcome to Comics on a Pyre, a channel to have a meaningful conversation over movies, life, books, and shows, and maybe just a spot to spend time BSing over comics. If you like your entertainment with a bit of substance, then you, my vagabond friend, have come to the right tavern. Tether your horse by the post and come right on in and warm yourself by the fire. Tap that subscribe button, and for the next few minutes, my fellow George Carlin reprobate, lend me your ear. It is from the blackness that Siri Junta, a Jedi Padawan, awakens from. Her head is groggy, and her senses stirred. When she gains full cognizance, the strain just to sit upright almost renders her unconscious again. But how did she get here? She asks herself, alone in a solitary cell guarded by a mechanical sentinel. With the sheer effort of will, the young Jedi calls on her the power of the Force, retrieving her lightsaber. In an instant, the weapon is activated and slices through her holding cell. The sound of sheer metal rings like a toxin call through the building, rallying soldiers from all ranks to answer the call. In seconds, a young Padawan is surrounded by men who stand with the fervor of combat in their blood, and the blasters at the ready. The tension within the room is palpable, with fingers on the trigger and the low humming sound of a solitary saber. From behind Junta, a female Valerian steps forward with hands in a capitulating position. She offers the young Jedi a temporary armistice and offers to parley. Her voice is soft but firm, denoting that her words are used to commanding attention. Siri swiftly brandishes her weapon at the woman's throat, but the Valerian challenges the threat by stepping even closer to the Jedi. In a controlled anger, Juna asks, why was she incarcerated? The Valerian tells the young Jedi she wasn't and asks, did the young Padawan even bother to try to open the door before she attacked her soldiers? Siri, with much trepidation, leans back to find that the cell door was in fact unlocked. To her chagrin, she apologizes. Narali accepts her apology and asks Siri, does she know how she arrived here? And why did she come into the forest of Faleri? Junta pushes back the throbbing pain in her head and thinks back to the last memory that she can recall. There is this feeling of cold, hard ground on my face, she tells Narali, and a heat of fire on my back. The light of the flames are all around me, but how did I even get there? And where is Master Cordova? This last statement was more to herself than to anyone standing present. The last thing I remember is that I was standing before the Jedi Council, being questioned on my impulsive judgments. Siri looked at the cell door and comments, it seems at least that much hasn't changed. Narali gives a slight nod to the fact, and Junta continues. Master Windu and Master Yoda were admonishing me on my actions, but commending me at the same time for trusting my instincts. I had made a mistake, brash mistake, on a previous assignment on the planet Namil. To rectify this, they said I could redeem myself on a new assignment on your planet, on Tofu. It seems that the Tophians have newly joined the Republic, opening trade opportunities that were previously off limits. They then entered into the agreement with the Daw Corporation, a company whose main endeavor is exploration and excavation. It seems an ancient temple has recently been discovered, and the Daw Corporation are eager to examine it. The Untolfans agreed to allow the corporation access to it, but the temple, it seems, was discovered on your Faleri grounds. An indigenous tribe, your people, has staked out its own land on Untolfan. When the rest of the planet joined the Galactic Republic, your people stood staunchly opposed, declaring your own sovereignty. Is all this correct? Now Riley gives a solitary nod, consenting her approval. The matter has led to much unrest, causing a conflict between Ontofans and Falari as to who has the right to the ancient temple. Its location is on Ontofan's planet, but the exact location is on Falari ground. Yoda thought it best to send me and my master, Cordova, to settle the affair. When we arrived, we were greeted by Dalanto Da, the founder of the Excavation Corporation. He thought it wise if I and Master Cordova enter Falari land unchaperoned by him or his people. The last time he entered the territory, the outcome almost broke out into civil war. And so he offered us his best wishes and an armored caravan into your land. We had entered the Falari forest unmolested until a loud sound from our exterior shook our convoy. When I exited the vehicle, no one was present. After a few meters into the forest, I seemed to lose my way. The ruby mist that blanketed the floor hid any spores that would reveal our attackers' whereabouts. But when Master Cordova cleared the smoke, a clue was revealed. And so I ran off in the direction of the trail. My impulsive behavior has led me into many compromising situations, but this time my impetuous actions led me into the forest that seemed to be without ends, until my master's words came back to me and I discovered the treachery that lay beneath the crimson mist. Eager to get back to the caravan, I retraced my steps and arrived to tell my master the news that I had discovered, but another explosion rendered me unconscious, and that is when I found myself here, in your cell. All that you have said seems true, said Nerali, but rest assured your assailant were not my people. After that statement, the Falari leader leads Junta outside, showing her the splendors her land has to offer, allowing the Padawan to freely interact with the members of her society, giving evidence that the Falari are a peaceful people who wish to remain secluded and on to themselves. But if their home is threatened, they will fight. After a short walk, Junta finally cast her eyes on the reason for her mission. There, upon the Acropolis sat the ancient temple. Even from this distance, the aura of the primordial structure permeated into the land, giving the grounds a sense of hollow significance. Nerali wished to show Junta this holy sight in person, knowing that the Jedi's sensitivity to the Force would speak volumes to her, overwhelming her reasoning. And it was then that the Falari showed Junta the evidence of her people's innocence. Nerali tells Junta when her convoy was attacked traveling through the forest, her people heard the sounds of battle and came running. When they got to the site of the fray, they were attacked themselves, but retaliated out of self-defense. In the struggle, their attacker was gunned down. On his body, this article of clothing was found. It bears the insignia of Da Corporation. It seems your seemingly innocent benefactor is nothing more than your deceiver. He sends you under the moniker of arbitrator, but then attacks you from behind under the cover of the forest. I have no doubt he would have blamed my people for your deaths. Junta handles the evidence in her hands, letting the fabric run through her fingers. It seems her trust was misfounded. With a heavy heart, she closes her eyes to search her feelings. She senses the atmosphere's weight of the land coursing through her veins, and the thought of her master's death weighs heavy on her conscience. With the discovery of the truth, she knows now what she must do. Welcome, comic Padawans, to another episode of Comics on a Pyre. Today, I will be going over the miniseries titled Jedi Fallen Order, Dark Temple. It is a 5-part series released in 2019. It was written by Matthew Rosenberg and the art was by Paleo Villanelli. The events in this run are a prequel to the Respawn Entertainment video game Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. And the events transpire, I guess, somewhere between 23 to 18 BBY, before the Battle of Yavin. I was honestly surprised on exactly how much thought went into this comic. Most comics released and adjacent to video games are honestly not that good. Most just retell the plot of the game in a flimsy way, but not Dark Temple. It is filled with plot twists within plot twists, and you never know who truly is the bad guy until the very end. If there is even a bad guy in this story, I guess it's just a matter of opinion on whose side you fall on. The plot, though, is basically simple. A new discovery is found and both sides want to use it for their own means. In some ways, it reminded me of the 2009 movie, The Avatar, when humans are colonizing Pandora, a lush, habitable moon, in order to mine for the mineral unobtainium, an extremely rare and costly material. In the humans' avarice, their mining colony threatens the continuing existence of a local tribe known as the Naive, an obvious wordplay on a Native American tribe, the Navajo. Now, the Naive are a humanoid species indigenous to Pandora. But instead of wanting to be totally left alone like the Naive, the Falari wish to use the temple and its resources to expand their own influence, which basically comes down to a power struggle between two factions, with the deciding factor being who is in possession of the temple. Anyway, if you are a true Star Wars fan or a fan of the game Star Wars Fallen Order, you are going to want to pick these issues up, as they give you a glimpse into the life of two Jedis that are not often given much limelight: Jedi Master Eno Cordova and the impulsive Padawan Siri Junta. Well, that's it for now. But in the meanwhile, feel free to visit my comic book YouTube channel, Comics on the Pyre, for other videos like this one. Tap on that bell icon before you go, and oh yes, as always, until next time, keep reading, my friends.